Hey, this is M, and in today's coaching video, I'm going to teach you about one of the oldest yet most powerful and most darkest pickup artist techniques to ever come out of the pickup community, and it's called the validation vacuum. Okay, so what is a validation vacuum? Validation vacuum is basically a dark pickup artist technique that we used to use in the old pickup community to suck all of the validation and all of the work from another pickup artist or another guy, okay? And sometimes even our own wingman. And this is something I don't really do so often these days as I walk around my house here, so you can kind of get a brief house tour. I don't really do the validation vacuum these days, but I do still teach it, okay? Just because I do want guys to know how to use it just in case they need to, because you might be dealing with some AMOG, some douchebag who is trying to steal your target, or he might be messing with you and you might want to mess with him back and steal his target away from him, or even his girl, right? And by using the validation vacuum, you can actually do that, okay? It's that powerful. As I look down here upstairs. The great thing about the validation vacuum is you can't get beat up for using it, all right? So it's not like, you know, when you steal another guy's girl or another guy's target using the validation vacuum, it's not like he'll know what you're doing, okay? It's not like he'll turn around and go, dude, what's up? Let's go right now, because he'll have no clue what you're doing. That is how slick the validation vacuum is, which is why I love it. Okay, let's go check the weather real quick, by the way. I never really go out into the sunlight over here too often, but got some sunshine today as I'm out here in the yard. Anyway, so getting back to the validation vacuum. Yes, it's that powerful. So I'm not going to waste too much time here. We're just going to jump right into today's coaching video so you can learn what the validation vacuum is and you can start using it for yourself. And this clip is taken directly from my mastery coaching program, which many of you are already in. Thank you very much. I'm very, very honored and very happy to be coaching you guys. And I know I've been plugging it a lot lately, guys. I have. You know what? I'm not going to apologize for that because it's a great program. And there's a ton of value that you're going to get from being in my coaching program, 7 months of mastery. So I'm not going to apologize for plugging it. I know I've been plugging it hard in the last few videos. And you know what? I'm going to continue to plug it just a little bit more, you know, over the next month or so, just because I really want you guys to get in and I really want you to see what I'm teaching other guys. I want you to see the value that other guys are getting. I mean, seriously, even in today's lesson, the validation vacuum, where on earth are you going to learn that? Who is going to teach you the validation vacuum? Okay, can you go out there and talk to some average Joe out there, some average chump, and go, hey man, do you know what the validation vacuum is? He's gonna look at you like, what? What vacuum? You know, he's not gonna have any idea what you're talking about. Most people won't. And you guys who are walking around, like I keep telling you guys, if you have not had training in pickup, have not had any coaching, you need this, okay? You need coaching, you need training, because you never learned this in school. Nobody ever taught you this stuff. Much less can you learn it from any of your family members or your friends, your guy friends. They don't know what this stuff is. They don't know. They can't teach you the validation vacuum because they haven't spent their entire adult life approaching young hot girls like some of us have, okay? Like I have, as I walk back to the dining area here, just to give you a little tour as I speak, right? A little tour of my house. It's a little messy back here because we had some people over this weekend and gonna get to cleaning it today. So after this video, this is much more important than cleaning up the mess that we created this over the weekend. As long as the pool table is clean, right? Pool table's clean, we're good. But as I was saying, you're not gonna be able to walk up to any average guy out there, even if you're in a club or a venue, you know, guys who frequent those places, ask one of those guys, hey man, you know what the validation vacuum is? They'll be like, what? What are you talking about? They'll have no clue either. Okay, the same guys that me and my wingmen and me and my students are going to these same venues and taking their targets right from underneath their nose without them even knowing it. This is actually very common in the animal kingdom, especially with insects. They will often exploit each other's work and use it for their own benefit. By using the validation vacuum, we're basically doing the same thing. Where we stand behind the guy, we let him do all the work, where he's talking to the girl, he's nagging her, he's push-pulling her, he's getting her emotions all amped up. He's basically putting in all this work while all we do is stand behind him and appear to have more value by not having to do any work. Okay, we just stare at the girl, give her that rock solid eye contact like I teach you in 7 Months of Mastery. We give the girl that rock solid eye contact, and by doing that, just standing still behind the guy, we're able to suck the validation away from him. Okay, and I'm just giving you one quick example of the validation vacuum. All right, we're able to suck the attention and the validation off of him and onto us, where the girl looks at us like the higher value male. Okay, and many times, the girl will just leave with you instead of him, just because you appear to be the higher value male. So we sucked all the validation, that's why we call it the validation vacuum, and then put it onto us, okay? And this is a bit of an advanced technique, okay? So this is not something that I cover, you know, like in the first month of mastery when you sign up. You're not gonna get the validation vacuum, okay? This is something I cover later because it is an advanced technique. The reason why it's as advanced, and I don't like newbies learning this necessarily till later in the program, after they get a little bit more pickup knowledge under their belt and they've done a few more approaches out there. I don't want them learning this stuff because for a lot of guys, it's kind of a frightening realization that, you know, women, like basically this girl that you're gaming at this venue that you might have spent the entire night gaming and she became attracted to you. The fact that some guy can just come behind you and do the validation vacuum, which don't worry about it because 99% of guys out there have no clue how to do this stuff, okay? 99% of guys out there have no clue what the validation vacuum is. They won't be doing it to you, okay? The only guys you have to worry about are guys like me or my students or my wingmen, like Brando. Brando loves the validation vacuum. You know, just like coming behind and going, you know, while you're in front doing all the work, he's just standing behind you going, looking at the target, looking at your girl, doing that, giving her that rock solid eye contact. And then once she starts paying attention to, you know, like say Brando or me, slowly she's gonna stop paying attention to you. You know, even though you're doing all the work, she's gonna start paying attention to us because we're going to appear to have more value. As I was saying, the reason why I don't like newbies learning this is because if you have not done enough approaches yet, you know, it's something that for a lot of guys, their ego can't handle, right? That women are going to, you know, and this is something I teach you in Mastery too. And basically in all my programs, I teach guys this, that women are always gonna go where the value is. Period, okay? This is why I get pissed off when guys are like, oh, it's all about LMS, man. Looks, money, status, PUA scam. It's all about your looks and your height. You have to be tall and have money. No. I've done this in Hollywood. I've done this to guys who are actors. I've done this to guys who have Lambos. I've done this to guys who are much taller than I am, guys who are much more jacked than I am. I have done this to those guys successfully and peeled a girl away from them just by appearing to have more value. They're better looking than me. They have more money than me. They have more status than me. They're taller than me, but I'm able to take the girl's attention off of them and put it onto me. How is that happening? How can I do that? Hey, learn pickup. Learn this stuff, okay? Those guys with as much money as good looking as they are, as tall as they are, as jacked as they are, they don't bother to learn this stuff. And the more skill you have, the more you're gonna be able to get that girl into your life. The more you're gonna be able to get that girl attracted to you, get her out on an actual date with you, and you're not gonna have to worry about guys like myself, Brando, my wingman Brando, or any of my students coming along and validation vacuuming that girl away from you. Okay, using what we've learned to take that girl away from you, because we know that, you know, 99% of the guys in the venue don't study this stuff. We don't care how tall they are, how jacked they are, how good looking they are. We know that we're walking in there with some powerful skills where we could peel the hot girls out of there, away from these guys, no problem, without any fighting. Most of the chumps that go to these venues, they're constantly looking to fight any guy who bumps into them because they're chumps, they don't get laid. But for us, you know, we're focused on getting the girls and getting out of there, right? We're not even there to dance. We don't care. We're not there to buy drinks. We're just there for business. We're there to get the hot girls that we like, and we're there to just get them in our lives and feel them out, see if we even like them. You know, a lot of times we'll go in these venues, we'll peel out the hot girls, and then we talk to them for a little bit, or we might go on 1 or 2 dates, and we dump them. We're like, ugh, I don't want to deal with this chick, she's stupid, or I'm just not attracted to her. It happens, but you're never gonna know these things till you actually get that girl into your life. And the way that you get her into your life is by learning this stuff. You gotta learn these techniques, guys. It's powerful. I don't want you going out there like most chumps, most average frustrated chumps. That's what we used to call them in the old pickup community, AFCs. You guys who are part of those, the old mystery method days, we used to call them AFCs, average frustrated chumps. Basically guys who don't have any dating knowledge, they don't have any pickup skills whatsoever, but they're going out there and trying to pick up girls. And then you get guys like me, guys like my students, guys like Brando coming up behind you, peeling that girl away. And you know, I'm basically teaching you what we are doing to accomplish that. You know, and all of the students in my mastery coaching program are learning how to do it too. So without further ado, I'll stop talking, I'll stop yapping. Let's go ahead and jump right in today's coaching video, and let's get started. All right, here we go. About to rock into the W Hotel here in Hollywood, California. And the topic for tonight's coaching video is the validation vacuum. How to steal hot girls from guys without them even knowing it. Okay, so what is the validation vacuum? The validation vacuum is basically an advanced pickup technique that a lot of guys don't talk about anymore. It's kind of from the old school pickup community, but it is very, very powerful. And even though the validation vacuum is an advanced technique, newbies can learn it, okay? You can actually learn it even as a newbie. And it is super, super powerful. So let's take an example of how to use the validation vacuum. So let's say you're out with your wingman, all right? And obviously you don't want to do this to your wingman, but say your wingman opens a Target. He's in set with her for a good 20 minutes, half an hour. He's the guy who opened her. He's the guy who got her laughing, got her happy, got her sad. He's making her feel all these emotions. It's getting her all amped up and attracted to him. What you can do as his wingman, you can actually just come in behind him, right? You can literally come in behind him, and while he's doing all the work and, you know, having to be a dancing monkey boy, you can literally just sit there and cross your arms and just look at her, and literally just stare at her and suck all of the validation from him onto you, where you could actually take the attraction off of your wingman and put it onto you. This is why we call it the validation vacuum. It's kind of a dirty technique. You should not do this to your wingman. I'm just using him as an example, but this is something that you can do to other guys. It's not gonna get you beat up or anything like that, because most guys are gonna have no clue what's going on. It's that slick. That's how slick the validation vacuum is. Most people have no idea what's going on. The fact that you're just sitting back with your arms crossed, I mean, if the guy turns around and he's like, hey, what's up, man? What are you doing? I mean, you're literally just sitting there with your arms crossed. You'd be like, nothing, I'm just standing here. I'm not talking to her, I'm not hitting on her. You could literally just stand here with your arms crossed and just giving her that look where she will start chasing you for your validation. That's why we call it the validation vacuum. You could take all the attraction off of him and put it onto you. So this happened with a student of mine who hired me for some private coaching, and he met this girl, really good looking girl too. He was totally gaming her, totally getting her emotions amped up, and this girl was totally into him. She was holding his hand, she was hugging him in the corner. They already exchanged phone numbers. They were talking about the date they were gonna go on the following day, all this stuff. And my student goes, hey, he like signals me to come over, and he whispers to me, he was like, hey, I know I booked you for the next 3 days, but I think I'm good. He basically was only with me for 1 day when he met this girl. So he was like, yeah, I don't think I need you anymore, but I'll pay you out for the full 3 days. I'm kind of busy. I don't have time to learn whatever else you have to teach me. I think I'm good. I got this girl, and she seems cool. We're into each other. That's all I really want is this girl. And I'm like, okay, no problem. And he's all right, but real quick, man, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and then I'm gonna take off with her. So he's like, just watch her real quick, you know, make sure no other guys hit on her, and I'll be right back. So in a way, to teach him a lesson, I didn't hit on her, I didn't try to pick her up, I just stood there while he was in the bathroom, and I just gave her that look. And she was like, what? What? And I was like, nothing. And then slowly, he was only gone for 5 minutes too, but slowly the attraction shifted. It shifted off of him and onto me, okay? Shifted off of him and onto me. And that's the thing with the validation vacuum, is you can often exploit another guy's work, all of the work that he put into that set, and trying to get the girl attracted to him, trying to get the girl amped up and interested in him. You can actually exploit all of his work and basically take over. This is very common in animal life, insect life especially. I was watching a very interesting documentary on ant colonies, and ant colonies will often exploit another ant colony's work simply by raiding their ant colony, basically stealing their food, stealing their supplies, even stealing their eggs, bringing it back to their own nest and raising those eggs as their own to become slaves, to become worker slaves, right? Ant colonies do this to each other. And that validation vacuum, like I said, man, it's super, super powerful. So you can basically make the girl chase your validation versus the actual pickup artist or the other guy or your wingman who did all the work. I've never been caught one single time doing it. It's just so subtle, it's so under the radar that there's no way that any guy can ever accuse you of trying to take the girl out from under him. Because all you're doing is standing behind him and just looking at the chick and making her chase your validation instead of the other guy. Ooh, W Hotel. It's empty in here. All right, guys, so that's all I have to say for this coaching video. That's how to use the validation vacuum. Like I said, it's an advanced, old school pickup artist technique, but newbies and guys who are brand new to pickup can learn it very, very easily. It's somewhat of a dark technique, as I said, and you want to use it for good, not for evil. And that's it. So until next time, this is M, and I will see you in my next coaching video. All right, you guys, where'd you guys park?
Right by David Wayne's over there.
What's that?
Office exit over there.
Davey? All right, you guys want to be on the channel? Do you want me to talk?
Oh yeah, I want to be on the channel.
You do?
Yeah, I do. On the channel. I'm dying to be on.
Yeah, man. All right, so I hope you enjoyed today's coaching video on how to use the validation vacuum. As I've said before, it is a super powerful technique that I don't really see a whole lot of pickup coaches teaching anymore, okay? But I still use it, my students still use it, my wingmen still use it because it just works so deadly powerful. We're kind of getting lazy with approaching girls these days because we've just done it over and over, where sometimes it's just easier to stand behind another guy who's like trying to game a girl, let him do all the work and just stand behind her and go, you know, lick your lips a little bit as you look at her. Kind of do that, you know, and just be really subtle about it, sort of, right? And then you suck all the validation tension away from him and put it onto you. Next thing you know, you're leaving with that girl and he's going home alone. You know, it's not the nicest thing to do, which is why I don't like to do it all the time. Generally, the times I use a validation vacuum is the guy's being like a dick, douchebag, where he's messing with me, one of my wingmen, or he's just being a jerk, right? And he's talking to some girl, then I have no problem doing it to him. Okay, but as I've said, you know, you can do this to your wingman. Wingman, I don't advise doing that. It's not cool. Your wingman's not gonna trust you anymore. And really, when you're out there gaming, you have to be able to trust your wingman. Okay? You guys have to be able to trust each other. Don't screw each other over. So, that's the validation vacuum in a nutshell. And like I said, there's not a whole lot of guys in this world who can teach you how to do things like the validation vacuum. There's just not. Who's gonna teach you this stuff? Nobody. The only place you can learn this from is from an experienced, not even just a regular pickup or dating coach, but an experienced pickup artist, okay? An experienced dating coach, okay? Because you'll find a lot of guys that are good with girls, but they do not have a conscious understanding of what they're doing correctly that is resulting in their success with girls. They don't really have that conscious understanding, where over time I developed that. I developed what was working. I used to have this big notepad. I used to write down what worked, what didn't work, what I said that worked, and what I said that didn't work. You know, I used to take all these massive notes, and over 20 years, I mean, I really compiled this system, okay, that I'm trying to teach to you, that I'm like practically begging you to learn from me, which is in my 7 Months to Mastery coaching program. And I'm not even kidding. I mean, really, this is the only place you could learn this kind of stuff. Because again, you can't walk out your door and talk to any normal average guy out there, even successful guys, and go, hey man, can you teach me this validation vacuum? Can you teach me how to do the claw? They'll be like, what is that? They'll have no clue. Even though if they're to go out to a venue and they're, you know, trying to game some girl, you could easily go behind them and use those techniques that he has no clue about. You know, the only difference between you and him is you bothered to learn them, okay? You actually got coaching and he didn't. So that's it in a nutshell. If you're not in, you know, I don't want to plug this, I don't want to keep plugging my program, but again, if you're not in my coaching program yet, you need to get in my coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery. All you need to do is click that link below, take you right over to my website. It takes 2 seconds, okay? It takes 2 seconds to sign up. And it's only $1 right now. It's only $1 for the very first month, but it's not gonna stay $1 for very long, okay? So if you wanna take advantage of it now. Start learning this stuff, start getting good with girls, start overcoming your fear with approaching girls, and get yourself the girl that you want, okay? Because that's what I'm here to teach you guys. I'm not here to teach you how to live like a vacuous existence. I know a lot of these pickup coaches, especially the top pickup guys. I've met those guys, I've gamed with them. I know what they're about. I don't want to badmouth anybody. It's just not my way. But, you know, as successful as those guys look on their YouTube channel, and these guys are like the pickup hero to a lot of newbies, you know, as successful as those guys look, those guys are living a very empty and vacuous existence, going to these nightclubs and picking up these nightclub sluts and these, you know, just basically bar trash. And that's not what I'm teaching you how to do. My goal with teaching you pickup and everything I've learned is so that you can go out there and find good girls. Find the girls that you really, really want to bring into your life. And I hate to break it to you, but it's not gonna happen the way it does in the movies, where it's like serendipity and you're just gonna roll the dice and you're gonna, you know, pull the lever on the slot machine, you're gonna hit the jackpot the first time. Does that happen? Yeah, it happens as often as somebody wins the lottery, okay? It happens from time to time. But in most cases, especially these days, it doesn't happen anymore. You need to have a circle of dating options to where you are the buyer and the girl is the seller, where you have the ability to choose from a pool of women who you want to date seriously, who you want to become your girlfriend, who you want to become your potential wife, who you want to become the mother of your kids, okay? A lot of these other pickup coaches, they don't really think that far ahead. All they're thinking with is basically their dicks and getting laid every night. You know, what are you gonna do? Like be 70, 80 years old out there, still going to these clubs doing approaches? No. By then, you wanna have a good circle of women that you've approached throughout your youth and throughout your 30s, 40s, even your 50s, that now you can kind of choose from. And you'll be like, yeah, that chick's cool. I met her years ago and we've been friends this whole time. She's hot, she's still young, and that's who I want to go the distance with. You know, and if she ever acts up, guess what? You have a bunch of backups who want to be with you too. Because they'll be like, that guy was cool, I remember when I met him, you know, and I've been in love with him all these years, and that's who I want to spend the rest of my life with. All right, so don't learn this stuff for evil, but learn it for good. So that's all I gotta say for today's coaching video. That's how you use the validation vacuum. And again, if you're not in my mastery coaching program, get in there, learn this stuff so you can go out there and start approaching young hot girls too, and really give yourself an advantage over all the other guys out there, over your competition. Okay, because if you go to any venue, you don't even have to be in a major city like Los Angeles, like I am, where there's tons of, you're gonna have tons of competition if you're here in Hollywood. I mean, you have movie producers, actors, whatnot. Chances are you're not living in Hollywood, so you're not gonna deal with the competition that I'm dealing with, that my students are dealing with out here, or my wingmen, my wingmen are dealing with out here. I mean, you really have to bring up your game out here. But even just living in some suburban town where there's a few cute girls in town, you still have to compete for those girls. Okay, you still need to learn this stuff, and nobody can teach you this stuff but an experienced gamer like myself who's been out in field as long as I have. And I'm not even saying that to brag. I've been out there in field doing this stuff for a long time, so I know what I'm talking about, and I'm trying to teach it to you. I'm trying to give these skills that are in my brain to you, so you can go out there and you will have a tremendous advantage over other guys too. And I cannot tell you what a powerful feeling it is, what a great feeling it is to be able to walk into these venues and know that very, very few of those guys, if any of them, can hold a candle to you, can compete with you. They can't. It's a powerful feeling just being able to walk into any random bar, and know that I could grab that hot girl, and I have a high chance of leaving with that girl. I have a high chance of being on a date with that girl tonight or tomorrow. There's a high chance that hot girl over there sitting at the bar is gonna become my girlfriend. All I have to do is approach. All I have to do are use the skills that I already have. Okay, it's a powerful feeling. Okay, rather than what most guys feel when they walk into the bar, right? They see the pretty girl and then they just kind of stare at her like creepy and like hoping she looks their way. If they're really chumps, they'll like buy her a drink, send her a drink over there, hope that she reciprocates, she bites. It's not the way to do it, okay? Just ask all the guys who do it that way. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You gotta learn this stuff, okay? You got to learn this stuff. That's the only way you're gonna get good with girls, is if you actually learn this stuff and you learn it from somebody who's experienced, somebody who's been out there doing this stuff. It is a powerful feeling to know that you could easily just walk right out your door with your pickup skills. Just walk right out, approach any young, cute, hot girl, and easily make that girl your girlfriend. Easily be on a date with her. Okay? It's a powerful feeling. And I want you to have that feeling as we stand out in front of my house. Yeah, it's a nice day. Okay, just being able to walk right out there into the open street and any cute girl, be able to approach her, bring her into your life, even bring her home, right? It's a powerful feeling. And it's a feeling that guys who don't learn this stuff never experience, okay? Those guys will never experience it. Those guys are like, when they walk into a bar or a club or a venue, or even when they're on the subway and they're on a bus and they see a pretty girl they want to approach, those guys are spending half the time trying to work up the nerve to even approach her. They're spending half the time trying to think of what to say, okay? And by the time they even get close to working up the nerve, that chick jumps off the subway and they lose it, and they're like, oh, next time. They make up all these excuses in their head, where myself, my students, my wingmen, we see that girl, there's no hesitation. We're like, hey, she's cute. Let's go see if she's cool. Boom. Hey, and then we go approach. There's no hesitation. We want to know right away. And if she's a bitch, then, she's like, hey, get away. I don't want to talk to you. Fine, whatever. No big deal. All right, doesn't affect our ego one bit. Where most guys who don't learn this stuff, they would be crushed, right? Most guys who don't learn pickup, a girl rejects them, they are crushed. And I've seen it. I've seen guys who don't learn this stuff. They are crushed for months and months. Some guys even years. They never forget about the girl who rejected them. But that's what happens when you don't learn this stuff. You're just, like I said, you're a deer in the headlights. You're just so vulnerable. So that's all I have to say for today's coaching video. I'm gonna close up here. Get in my coaching program, 7 Months of Mastery, right now. Okay, do it now. And even if you don't do it, get on my email list anyway, okay? Even if you don't sign up for the $1 trial that I have right now, just jump on my email list, and if I have a special one day, you'll have access to that. But if you're not on my email list, then you won't have access to it. If If you want the good stuff, take some action. Get on my email list, start there, okay? If you're not gonna jump in my coaching program mastery, at least get on my email list, start there, click the link below, get on my website, and that'll put you on my email list. So until next time, this is Amp. We'll see you very soon.